Hi BookTube, I'm here with my first review for #RemBooks. If you don't know, that means review every day in May. So that's what I'm doing. It's self-explanatory. Let's get into the first book, I guess. It's actually more of a series and more of a comic than like a novel. It's Injustice: Gods Among Us. A little bit of an explanation as to how it's released. There's 2 volumes a year, and those 2 volumes released within the year equals 1 year within the comic. And so the volumes are called Year 1, Volume 1, Year 1, Volume 2. You get the gist there. And then at the end of the year as well, there's an annual. So I've read years 1 to 4, plus the annuals for those years, and then Year 5, Volume 1, because it's still an ongoing comic, so I haven't, finished the whole thing yet. So the authors, there's 2 main writers, there's a whole list of illustrators. I'll link to the Wikipedia page or something to show you the illustrators and such, and the authors and whatever. Anyways, it started in 2011, it will finish this year with Year 5, and it's superhero comics in the DC universe. Let's do a little bit of a summary, shall we? So what this is, actually, how this started, is that it's a prequel to the Injustice: Gods Among Us game. And it kind of uses a bit of what happens in the game and kind of goes off on its own in bits as well. I kind of like to compare it a bit to Civil War, in that it's superhero versus superhero. So basically what happens is Superman goes insane. I won't tell you why, because that's the big shocker, and takes over the world, and Batman opposes him. Those are the main 2 leaders, and then you have all the heroes and villains choosing sides of what, who they agree with and all that kind of stuff. Just a note, if you are planning on reading this and you haven't yet, you have to read the annuals between the years, because they are continuation. Another note is that this is a self-contained universe, so it doesn't affect the DC universe at large, so you don't have to worry about other comics in this affecting different storylines and stuff that are currently ongoing. It's its own. This is all you have to read is the Gods Among Us comics. Okay, let's get into the actual review now. What I really liked about this is that it manages to accomplish a lot in a brief amount of time. So each volume is about 160 to 190 pages, and it's obviously a comic, so I mean there's not a lot to read on each page, but really get a really good depth of story for that brief amount of pages, and for the amount of characters that are in it, because I'm telling you there's a ton of characters, but it doesn't that doesn't drag it down. It actually, I think, adds to it. There's moments where my jaw's on the floor for some of the things that happen because I'm just so shocked. There were moments where I was like scratching my head, going like, what? It just happened? What's going on? And there were times where I was just like laughing out loud. And the writers, I think, really accomplished something really good that way, in that it always feels new, it's always exciting, what's going to happen next, oh, this is funny, oh, this is really making me think, so that's kind of really cool. One thing I do have to say is that the plot is kind of getting a bit repetitive at this point, because, I mean, Batman's trying all these different tactics out on Superman, and you're just thinking, like, just defeat him already, just, do it, just... yeah, so it is like Batman is fighting Superman, Batman is fighting Superman, Batman's fighting Superman. But hopefully this last volume will be the last one, and hopefully they'll have it resolved. In regards to characters, I think actually Superman manages to be quite interesting in this. I don't really like Superman, because he's kind of like you can't defeat him. He has all the superpowers. And he's such, you know, the good guy, the all-American, you know, I'm good kind of guy. But in here we really see his morals being tested. The book, the story takes him to his breaking point and then asks what lengths he's willing to go to get his idea of peace on Earth. I really liked, again, I said it before, that was in regards to depths with the storyline, but they also really get into depth with a lot of the characters. And you really get kind of like an interesting take on some of the characters, because it's not just hero against hero. We have villains that are choosing sides as well. So the villains are not just bad guys. The villains are, you know, working with Batman. The villains are working with Superman. And you kind of, you know, the writers can't just do that, right? They have to give them reasons, and they have to give them, you know, backstories and all this kind of stuff. So you really get to know some of the characters in depth, and then you get kind of like the anti-heroes too. Like there's Constantine and Plastic Man. We have Harley Quinn and Arrow, Catwoman, Sinestro, Shazam. I couldn't remember his name for a second there. And like all these different characters. It's really cool. And they really feel like they are in line with what I know of the DC characters. They are, you know, like the sides they choose and the actions that they do and the words that they say, you know, kind of fit in with everything. You know, I still have this problem with Wonder Woman being portrayed as, you know, Gaga over Superman, you know, willing to do anything for him, including abandoning her morals and her people and fighting alongside him. Okay, art style. I don't have a physical copy of this. I read this on my phone, but I have some pictures that hopefully will come up here. Let me just show you first of Wonder Woman here. I chose this one because you can, I don't know if you can make out the blood and such on her. I really like that, that we have this kind of classic style, but with the blood and guts and such. Let's see, here we have Superman and Batman confronting each other, and I really liked in these scenes with the Green Arrow how there's kind of like a green hue to everything going on. That's one of my favorite pair-ups now, actually, is Green Arrow and Harlequin. It's really cool. Yeah, so, you know, the writing style as well I have to comment on, because it can get very humorous at times. I don't know if it was the writer who forgot the word for limbs, or if he actually knew it and was like making a joke, but he called limbs sticky outy bits. And I found that so humorous. And then like there's times where Harley Quinn's referencing the Hunger Games and such like that, so it's really kind of cool, and you know, makes references to pop culture, which, you know, us 20-somethings love, right? Okay, I really liked, again, that it was able to address both personal issues and global issues. So in some panels you'll have them talking about family dynamics. We have, oh gosh, their names are escaping me right now. We do have, I'll just call them by their hero names. I can't remember their identities. We have Robin and Nightwing, and you know, their relationship with Batman and Bruce Wayne, their father. And then on the next page, it will be Flash explaining to Superman why gun control, you know, is maybe not an issue they should be concentrating on. Yeah, and again, I really liked the way that it was able to be brief but in depth at the same time. You know, it was able to address these issues quickly, you know, accessibly. Here we go. If you want more information, look it up yourself on, you know, kind of thing. And that the heroes and the villains aren't black and white, that there's different moral issues, and you can sometimes agree with Superman and you can sometimes agree with Batman, and it's really interesting that way. I'd really recommend this to people who are new to the DC universe. primarily because it is its own contained universe, so you don't have to worry about continuation issues within the larger, storylines, and you only have to read the comics that are labeled Injustice: Gods Among Us. As well, that I really find that it introduces you to a lot of the DC characters, both the heroes and the villains, in a good way. And that's what I'd recommend it. Yes, it is incredibly good. I will be reading the last volume when it comes out. I prefer to get it in the solid volume instead of the single issues, even though I'm really tempted because I want to know how it ends. But yeah, I guess I'll have to wait. So thank you for watching.